maybe we'll start right away with this topic because it is very sensitive. Who can call themselves shaman? Who are the real shamans? Where the shamanism started? Because it is very sensitive. And I mean, you have to prepare for the real world. You will be attacked, you will be mocked, you will be laughed at, you will be called fraud and a liar. You have to be ready. You have to be ready for that. But the reality is, shamanism dated over 40,000 years ago. 40,000 years ago. And well, as right now, even I am right now dealing with my attempts to promote this event. I don't know if you've seen ads. There is constant laughing faces, angry faces, mocking comments. People call me fake and fraud. There are massive amount of comments, massive, saying that only Native Americans have right to practice shamanism, only they are real shamans. Some woman, two or even yesterday morning, I don't remember, she wrote me that there was some image in a corner, dream catcher, and she told me it's a cultural appropriation and I should be sued and go to jail. How stupid people are. Pardon my language. This is something you'll have to deal with on a constant basis. So be ready, weaponize yourself with knowledge. If it was true, only Native Americans had the right to practice shamanism and were real shamans. Simple math does not add up. Shamanism is dated 40,000 years ago. There were no people in Northern America at this time. There were no people at all, zero. Nobody lived here. There were no Native Americans. First settlers came 26,000 years ago. The math does not add up. Here you have it. What is really shamanism? Shamanism is a spiritual practice that is, as I said, dated over 40,000 years ago. The reason we're here and we still talk about shamanism because it speaks to the very core of our nature. That's why it didn't disappear, regardless of so many attempts. The goal of shamanism is to provide answers and support us when we're dealing with real human issues, real life problems. The foundation of shamanism is a belief that everything in life has a purpose and meaning, and this is not a random event. You are here, not strangers. We don't meet anybody just by accident. Probably came from one soul family, so I'm very happy to see you again. I'm happy that this reunion happened. Shamanism teaches us to deal with difficulties, pain, not running away, not escaping, but dealing, so we can create a joyful, happy experience. Again, a mistake to think that shamanism is exclusive to Native Americans. It's practiced all over the world by every nation, every country, every race, every continent. There are different names. They may look different. They may use different tools, but the root is all the same. Another misconception that real shaman is only a person that came from a specific lineage, and that those powers are only transferred by blood. Have you studied history? Have you seen historical movies? Have you read mythology and legends? Have you seen a one shaman that was married and had children? Zero, like, as a whole, zero. It's not traditional, at least in ancient times, for a shaman to get married and have any children. To whom did they pass their blood? If that was true, they would all cease to exist a long time ago, and we would forget even that word by now. It's not true. Although, yes, shamanism is a spiritual path. Yes, it's a philosophical model of the world, but most of all, in real simple human language, it's a skill set that you can learn and apply in real life. This is what it is. It's a skill set. Just like you go learn energy medicine. Did anyone ever question how many people in your lineage you had doing this? Are you real? Or if you esthetician, Erica is a esthetician here, did anyone ever ask you what lineage did you have? Are you a real esthetician or are you just new age fraud and fake? But somehow we think this is normal to apply to shamanism. I want to just mention few names. As you're listening, maybe some old movies or books you've read will come up in your memories. Druids in Ireland, England, and northern France, shamans. Tautas in Hungary, shamans. Bonpo in Tibet, shamans. Huna in Hawaii, shamans. Miko in Japan, shamans. Tantrika or Daikini, shamans. Tantra is a form of shamanism. And there is much more, and you'll see it on the list. Now, at least you'll recognize those names and there will be no confusion. What does it mean? Who are those people? Are those people got their powers from another generation and this is some mythical creatures and I will never be like that? All those spiritual practices may have different names, but they all have similarities. Shamanism is a very, very first form of spirituality or philosophy. And then from there, it started evolving into different paths. And even religions were somewhat based on shamanism, just twisted in a very sick way. But the base, they used that to form religions. The very first religion on earth, Tengriism, Tengri, look up, very interesting. Well, less religion, more of a philosophy. It was next step, evolution from shamanism. So that was the first, and then Abrahamic religions were formed, but with a very different purpose. When in shamanism, the whole goal to stay connected, attuned, be harmonious with nature and ancestors and gods, higher entities. The goal of Abrahamic religion is exact opposite, to disempower you. So again, shamanism is not a religion, spiritual path, philosophical model of the world that is rooted in nature and a skill set that you can develop. That in ancient time, it was developed for survival. People would not survive without having those tools for divination, for example. If they couldn't hunt, they would die from starvation. If shaman couldn't predict natural disaster, they would all probably be wiped out. If shaman didn't heal people, it's very easy for entire tribe to die. And traditionally, shaman would take in a few students. And as they grow, they will learn by his side. And this is how the skills, the knowledge, the wisdom was passed. That's how it was kept alive. And for any tribe, it was very important. So they treasured that. The word itself, shaman and shamanism, originated in Tungus language, Siberian tribe, in Russian language, and all the languages that are, all the nationalities and ethnoses living in Eurasia continent, it sounds the same, shaman, just like here. I also wanted to show you a few photos, the photos of shamans. To whoever I'll show it to, everybody is sure this is Native American shamans, but those photos were made in different continents, even looks the same. I mean, if I didn't have a strong Russian accent, and if I put up, I don't know, feathers in my hair, you'd probably assume I'm a native. I mean, look at me, look at me. And even scientists found same genes, same DNA in some Indian tribes in Northern America and in Siberia. I mean, we have the same blood running through our veins. And they say, I'm coming here as a fraud stealing their culture. That whole attitude is very disturbing. When I was young, I was so hungry for knowledge, and this is normal to go and try to learn, assuming this is a skill set, shamanism. You want as many tools as you can possibly discover. So it was normal to go travel to some place and learn from other people. And it's always beautiful exchange. I'll give you something and you give me something. This way we can grow stronger, we can support each other. No one ever told me you came to steal from me until I came here. That's very sad, very, very sad. I hope maybe all together gradually, somehow we can change it. I do believe everyone, every human being has that seed, that part of soul that would enable you to become a shaman, a real shaman, if you want to call it. Just not everyone awakened that part, dispel all that, all those doubts. Can you be a shaman? Can you become a real shaman? You're here somehow. Maybe for many years your guides were pushing you, and you thought, why my life is falling apart? Why am I getting sick? Why am I losing my job? Why my business doesn't work? They were steering you in the right direction. So finally you step on the pathway that you have pre-written for yourself. Traditions that evolved from shamanism. We can talk about yoga practices, Buddhism, paganism, high magic, ancient Vedas tantras, even astrology, witchcraft, all have the same base, working with natural elements and ritualism. All are connected to the nature, stressed so highly in every practice. Recognizing spirit in everything around us. Compassion and love, not only for humans, but for everything around us. Forming relations with otherworldly creatures, angels, forest spirits, gods, goddesses. The use of alternate state of mind, trance, we can call it alpha state, hypnotic trance, magical state. There are so many names, but it's basically all the same. And all those practices use it as a gateway to whatever magical experience been sought. All those practices designed really with a goal in mind to help our souls growth and the betterment of life. And another common thing among all these practices, there is no governing body that oversees or controls or becomes a medium between you as a human being and the higher entities, whatever you connected to worship, only Abrahamic religions, because then it's easy to manipulate, control you. It is shaman's duty to act as a medium, as a translator, communicator with the other realm. And yes, in the ancient time, on shaman, the survival of the entire tribe depended. So it was very important. And imagine if shaman couldn't perform this duty, couldn't predict natural disaster, or couldn't locate animals for hunting, or couldn't heal someone, they would get rid of it. Yes, nobody could just announce themselves. They had to have skills. They had to produce results. Today, we will be specifically talking about shamanic journey and soul retrieval. What is shamanic journey? It's a traveling into the spiritual realm, into the other worlds, crossing the boundaries of our regular reality, what we see, what we feel right now, is the use of alternate states of mind. Why is it done? With the purpose of receiving messages, or healing, or retrieving. That's why we do soul retrieval, retrieving lost pieces. And what is soul retrieval really? You don't have to use the word soul if you're working with the clients that are very pragmatic, non-believers. and cringe every time you mention soul. You can use words energy. You can make it even more real, health. But every time, with every client, whoever comes into office, you have to step into their model of the world. You have to use their language, so you have to pay attention. You're really becoming a translator here. You kind of learning speak different languages. It's just not different nations' language, but different model of the world. If person said, I've lost my soul, I did that and I left my soul there, then we're gonna do soul retrieval. Or because of that happened, I lost my health, we're going to retrieve health. Or because those events happen, I've lost my luck. Okay, we're going to go find it and bring it back. Whatever they speak out, you have to pay attention. You might be retrieving the same thing, but you have to name it what they say, so they don't reject your work. To be able to travel into an ordinary realm, you have to be able to enter an ordinary state of mind, trance. And for that, we use drivers. The most pragmatic hypnotic induction. This is what we use in a regular hypnosis session. And you will see in the scripts that you will receive, they all start with induction. May little differ, but now you'll see all the elements of traditional hypnosis session. Starts with induction. It's a way of guiding a person into this very relaxed state and hypnotic trance. It could be simple, traditional, classic count backwards. Now I will count from 10 to 1 backwards, and by the count of 1, you will enter the state that is perfect for a goal today. Possibly, it will be the most relaxed state you've ever reached. You don't have to say trance or hypnosis. The most relaxing state. The more common words you'll use, regular human language, the better, the more effective your work will be. You see, I'm not using any yet. Whatever message I have to give, I'm not dusting with the new age terms. I'm not even using terminology from my tradition because it might be not right for you. It would confuse you, and then it will make it very difficult for you to take this, whatever I'll give you, and fit it into your world. And maybe it's your biggest luck right now that my English vocabulary is very limited. It'll make it much simpler for you. So another driver, meditation, simply soothing your mind, focusing on your breath. Another way to enter altered state of mind. Prayer will too put you into trance. This monotonous repetition, plus you add this emotion of love and devotion, or desperation, whatever that may be at the moment. Yes, it will put you into trance. Breath work, that's what we see in Qigong, martial arts, yoga, tantra, focusing on the breath. Well, as we go, we can start practicing. Yes, by the way, all the practices you will learn, you are to do it first, then to teach. Otherwise, you won't be effective teacher or a healer if you don't experience on yourself. And yes, you have to heal yourself first before healing others. Diligently practice all of those things and you will see results. Start a calendar, start tracking when you started. Maybe not all the tools at once, but starting with one, grounding maybe first, breath work second, snowballing little by little, and it won't be overwhelming, it will be natural integration. And a few months later, you look at your calendar. Yes, I did that. I made this happen. I see progress. If you don't track it, a few months later, you'll notice difference and you'll brush it off. It's very easy to brush off. Life happened. This is how you lose. You give away your power. It just life happened to me. But now you have a record. You can go back and, oh yeah, I planned for it. I did that. I made that happen. You're convincing yourself that you are in control. You are a creator of your reality. You are capable of making things happen. So track everything.